Shalom, shalom. Kahalayim Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Peace and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, true teachers of all Israel. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Through the Spirit, going into a quick lesson now about Jeremiah, the 28th chapter, which is very relevant to the times that we in now. All right. As we know, the prophets of old dealt with false prophets just like how we do. Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start this. Jeremiah 28:1. And it came to pass the same year, in the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah king of Judah, in the 4th year and in the 5th month, that Hananiah the son of Azur the prophet, which was of Gibeon, spake unto me in the house of Yahweh, in the presence of the priests and of all the people, saying, okay, Hananiah the son of Azur the prophet. So this was a particular Israelite, right? Okay. All right. In the presence of the priests and of all the people, saying, thus speaketh Yahweh of hosts, the power of Israel, saying, I have broken the yoke of the king of Babylon. Okay. So this man was saying that he was coming in the name of the Lord. There's a lot of men that say that they come in the name of the Lord. Okay. Yep. So he was saying that the Lord was breaking the yoke. Okay. But the truth is that was not the case. Matthew 7:15. Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. Right. There's men out there that are only concerned with feeding their own belly. There's men out there that are only concerned with what makes them feel good, what appeals to them. All right, this makes me feel good, so I'm going to teach it, those type of men. Okay, but we teach the whole truth, good, all right, the good, the bad, and the ugly, man. Okay, the in-betweens, all right, the inconvenient truths that our people don't want to hear, the sweet and the bitter. Okay, but some men, in order to gain more admiration and to gain some type of worldly status, they will lie and they will say things to Jake that Jake wants to hear. Okay, we're going to find out a lot of you Israelites, you were never in the truth to begin with. Okay, you were just good at playing a part. Matthew 7:21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord. And in order to do the will of the Father, you got to prophesy, and you have to have the right interpretation of the prophecies. Okay. 22nd verse. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Right. The sore judgments that the Lord will bring is going to bear witness that the Lord ain't with you guys, man. You guys that are saying that the mark of the beast ain't the chip. Well, it's all over the news now. What now? Okay. Jeremiah 28:3. And it's sweet, man. It's sweet to see how these things coming to pass are confounding the adversaries of the truth. There's nothing left to be said. Okay. Because these people like to, like Elder Yashawama said, wiggle around the earth, man. Okay. They stay wiggling. And it's always about, an explanation or trying to debunk the truth. Well, the Lord said he would give us a mouth and wisdom that none of our adversaries would be able to gainsay nor resist. All right. Jeremiah 28:3. Within 2 full years will I bring again into this place all the vessels of Yahweh's house that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, took away from this place and carried them to Babylon. Now, of course, Jake hearing this, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, word. That's good. They're going to support this man because he's telling them what they want to hear. All right. 40, Jeremiah 28:4. And I will bring again to this place Jeconiah, the son of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, with all the captives of Judah that went into Babylon, saith Yahweh, for I will break the yoke of the king of Babylon. Okay, so he made his little false prophecy here. Okay, in the third and the fourth verses, or the second to the fourth verse. And this is Jeremiah's response through the Spirit of the Lord. Jeremiah 28:5. Then the prophet Jeremiah said unto the prophet Hananiah, in the presence of the priests and in the presence of all the people that stood in the house of Yahweh, even the prophet Jeremiah said, Amen. All right. So really, he knew this dude was off, but he was using wisdom. Okay. Amen. Yahweh do so. Yahweh perform thy words which thou hast prophesied to bring again the vessels of Yahweh's house and all that is carried away captive from Babylon into this place. Nevertheless, so he said, yeah, that's good. That's good. Yep. Let the Lord do that. Okay. 7th verse. Nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak in thine ears and in the ears of all the people. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesy both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. Right. So he's drilling the point because Jake always want the easy out. Jeremiah said this and that now, but we're going to be out in 2 years. In 2 years, the Lord's going to break that yoke. Okay, but that's just him saying what he wanted to happen, not what was reality, man. Okay. So the prophets of old prophesied against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And Apostle Paul said, rather that ye prophesy. So we're supposed to be occupied in focusing on the destruction of this kingdom, war and evil and of pestilence. 9th verse, the prophet which prophesieth of peace. All right, Hananiah. All right, Nate coming in that same spirit. Okay, Nate, General Yohana. All these men that, they're off. They have a 501c3 charter and they really want this place to keep going so they can make Israelite starter packs and have big fancy Passovers at a Coliseum. Okay. But they don't really want the kingdom. Okay. 9th verse, the prophet which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that Yahweh have truly sent him. Right. So now that you were saying that it ain't going to be no microchip and that's all we seeing is a microchip, what are we led to believe? That you are a false prophet. Okay, then shall the prophet be known that Yahweh have truly sent him. So the Lord did not truly send you. The only thing he sent you for is to be deceived. Oh, matter of fact, let's get that. This is the book of Job 12:16. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. Okay. Yep. So the deceived and the deceiver are his. You all belong to the Lord. The Lord's using you, men, to root out the undesirables of his nation that he doesn't want. Okay. 10th verse. Then Hananiah the prophet took the yoke from off the prophet Jeremiah's neck and break it. Yeah, so he was hurt. Hananiah, I'm gonna take the yoke off his neck. I'm gonna put Jeremiah in his place. Just like how they try to, shit on us. All right, because Jeremiah had that yoke to represent Israel's captivity, really Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. All right, 11th verse. And Hananiah spake in the presence of all the people, saying, Thus saith Yahweh, even so will I break the yoke of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, from the neck of all nations within the space of 2 full years. And the prophet Jeremiah went his way, right? Mark them which caused divisions. Yeah, Jeremiah wasn't arguing with him. He was just telling them, look, when the prophecy comes to pass, then we'll know that the Lord have truly sent. Okay? Mark them which cause divisions and avoid them. Okay? 12th verse. Then the word of Yahweh came unto Jeremiah the prophet after that Hananiah the prophet had broken the yoke from off the neck of the prophet Jeremiah, saying, Go and tell Hananiah, saying, Thus saith Yahweh, Thou hast broken the yokes of wood, but thou shalt make for them yokes of iron. For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the power of Israel, I have put a yoke of iron upon the neck of all these nations, that they may serve Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. So the time period that they were in, Nebuchadnezzar was set up to rule for way more than 2 years. Okay, so this guy was wrong. And the Lord manifested, and we're going to see what happens to false prophets. and they shall serve him, and I have given him the beast of the field also. Then said the prophet Jeremiah unto Hananiah the prophet, Hear now, Hananiah, Yahweh hath not sent thee, but thou makest this people to trust in a lie. You see? And that's our people. They actually love to be lied to. Okay, but that's what a false prophet does. He makes the people to trust in a lie. Ain't gonna be no Jacob's trouble, ain't gonna be no chips. Okay. But according to the scriptures, we know that it does talk about the mark of the beast. And we see that that clearly correlates with that RFID implant that is happening worldwide as a solution to the CV thing. Okay. It was plain as day, and if you can't see it, then the Lord blinded your ass, man. Jeremiah 28:16. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will cast thee from off the face of the earth. This year thou shalt die, because thou hast taught rebellion against Yahweh. Right. That was rebellion. Just like you false prophets are all rebellious. The Lord's going to get every single last one of you, man. 17th verse. So Hananiah the prophet died the same year in the 7th month. Yep. In the 7th month. Complete judgment. And I'll get this. Deuteronomy 32. What? There's another one. I don't know if it's in Deuteronomy. Put to death. There's another one that mentions a prophet being put to death. I'll read this. Actually, yeah, it was in the same chapter. I had Deuteronomy 13:5. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he hath spoken to turn you away from Yahweh your power. Just like how we tell you don't rebel against Esau, Edom, and his beast system. Okay, don't rebel against it in the sense of starting an insurrection or getting people together to try to take the government down. Don't do that, because the Lord's will is that this man rules. So Yahweh Shai can take the glory and take this kingdom down. So you trying to supersede that is disrespecting the Lord, man. Okay, just like how they didn't want to deal with Babylon, but Jake was doing all types of wickedness, and that's why the Lord sent Nebuchadnezzar to be that whooping stick upon us. All right, but again, it says in that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he hath spoken to turn you away from Yahweh your power, which brought you out of the land of Egypt and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust thee out of the way which Yahweh thy power commanded thee to walk in. So shalt thou put the evil away from the midst of thee, right? And the Lord is going to have to put that evil away from the midst of us when he puts you false prophets and the wicked, grimy niggas that listen to you false prophets to death all at once. All right, so with that, that's the lesson. Infinite praise, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rachak Dash. Shalom until the next one.